Hi, hello everybody. Senia here for another live broadcast for Learning Center. And today I have an interesting story for you, and that is the story of one of our former students who happened to be in a situation where she needed to change a career. So she was in her 30s, I think late 30s back then, and her background led her to think and to consider that she can find something good in the beauty industry. So, cosmetologist, she thought sounded pretty good to her. So, she went online and to Google what are those steps that she needed to take in order to be a good cosmetologist. And what she came to know, what she learned, is that in Virginia Board of Barbers and cosmetologists requires every prospective cosmetologist to graduate from a licensed cosmetology school with at least 1,500 hours of studies. She would have to buy a license, and entire studies will, the cost for entire studies will, I think it starts from about $12,000. And it's not it, because she would have to maintain those license, and to maintain she would have to provide a proof of continuous educational hours on a regular basis. And she didn't have a well-paid job at that time. This is the reason why she was looking for a new career. And after summarizing all of her research, she started to feel overwhelmed and hopeless, because she didn't have that much time and she didn't have that much money to invest into a career that potentially will change her life for better. So she was very, very disappointed in the change in the career changes. She was not sure where she need to look next, and as it usually happens, she happened to be in the right place in the right time when somebody mentioned to her that there is an IT company that where she could have an opportunity to get a new profession in a short 3 to 4 months. It depends which model, which path she will take, which program she will choose, and their tuition was just 3.5 or $5,000. That sounded too good to be true, so she decided that she's going to visit them and look by herself on what's going on there, what they have to offer, and ask all of those questions that she had in her head. So the company was Learning Center, by the way, and she decided to visit one of the free classes that Learnix was offering at that time. So she came to the class, and she stayed for entire class, and I remember her looking very confusing, because the amount of materials and the subject that was in that class that she visited was kind of technical. So she was like, wow, this is may be very technical for her to understand, and therefore she was worried that it's not something that she would be able easy to understand and pick it up. So she started asking more questions, and what instructor suggested to her is to talk to the students of the class that she visited. So she talked to the class, and what she came to know that no one in the class had any background in IT or any experience in technical jobs. And everybody was saying that the program was written and the materials were written in such a way that it is easy to follow even if you don't have any technical background. And people were able to keep up with the program. So having those knowledges and knowing that it's such a short duration of the program, just 3 or 4 months, and such a low tuition cost, just $3,500 or $5,000. Those were the big pluses for her. And on top of that, Learning Center was certified by Council State of Virginia Educational School of Virginia. So that was given also an additional advantages of enrolling into the school. So she weighed all cons and pros. I remember she's, coming back and forth, thinking if that's the right way to take for her at that point of her life. And finally, she decided to enroll. And she enrolled, and she realized that the materials were not that complicated as she thought, and the instructors were very experienced, very attentive, and very passionate in explaining all of the aspects of how to be a good software tester. And it's been 3 years since she graduated. She found her job only 2 months after she completed her studies. And she now works for a big company. She makes $50 per hour, and now she's thinking she's thinking to become a business analyst. She recently came to visit us. That is the reason I'm telling you this story. And she was so happy. She wanted to share with us her thoughts about how happy she is that she decided to try and visit us that day back in 2016. So career change is hard. You have to invest a lot of time and efforts in finding the one that's going to work for you. And every career path is different for everybody and unique, and we're not going to deny it. At Learning Center here, we believe that in era of information technology, everyone can consider himself or herself as a software tester. So if you are curious, if you're interested how your regular daily usage of a smartphone or your tablet or your laptop, because we all use all of this on a daily basis. If you are interested how usage of all of these devices you can transition into a well-paid job, visit us, and we will be gladly to explain you and show you how to do it. Thank you so much for listening this. I'm glad I can see some people joining in. Please send your questions to us so we will be able to provide the answer and to make more videos for you guys, so you will be educated and so you can make right choices and educated decisions while you considering and looking for a new change in a career. Thank you so much, and I'm wishing you having a good long weekend. Bye bye.